Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my good friend Xerjin. Say hello, Xerjin.
Hi everyone, how you doing?
And we're going to continue playing War in the East 2 together. And so I hope you'll come along with that. But before you do, or before we go into it, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Still more than half the people aren't subscribed, and we'd love to see you around. And we really want to continue. This is probably going to be a very long series, but we want to share it all with you. So can you please tell friends, family, enemies about this series so that they will come and watch along and make the success. We really can only do it with your support, so thanks so much if you would. Okay, we are now ready for giving the Soviets their first turn. We have the initiative currently, so we took our turn. So now, what zoom level should we? Is this a good zoom level, or should we be further in, do you think?
No, a little bit out was good.
Okay, about like
Yeah.
that, you think?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, right, because I want to see if we can end turn without AI depot management. Yes, because we've done our own depot management at the end of the last episode.
So there's a number of different phases that take place here. So we've got the Russian logistics phase first, so it's working out all its supply and movement of vehicles that move the supply around. That's what's happening now. Then it will go into the next part. I think there's about 4 different parts. So what do you think the plan is for next turn then, Gamer?
Well, I think we're heading towards Smolensk, and we're of course trying to create our southern pocket down towards Romania. Beyond that, and other than generally heading towards Leningrad and Moscow, I quite honestly haven't thought further than that ahead. I don't know if that's short-sighted of me or not.
But no, I think small goals to start off with is a good way to learn the game. You set yourself small targets and you achieve them, and then you move forward. Whatever way is there to learn, I think is good for me. What was I going to say? Is we can also switch on the historical dates for each of the victory points as well. It tells you what dates they were taken historically to give us an idea of how quickly or slowly we're
Okay,
moving.
that would be good. That would be good.
So it's now performing some of the air directives that we set before. And now Russian movement. And Russian attacks, if there are any.
Right. Still running attrition attacks. Progress bar is going slow at the moment.
To be fair, I think they've got a lot to think about.
Well, that's okay. Now we're doing Soviet garrisons in urban areas, but the one thing that really people have to understand how remarkable Hearts of Iron 3 and 4 are is that there are so many mini turns, because it's every hour. It's actually a turn-based game, but it's an hourly turn-based game that they have to have. I complain about their AI all the time, but their AI is running that every hour and figuring that stuff out compared to how long this turn is taking for its AI to do its thing. So for all the problems of Hearts of Iron, it's actually rather remarkable when you really think about it.
I love the way that you can just have that little ahistorical bit in Hearts of Iron. That's the thing that I really like about it. You know, you can
Yes.
you can just do what you want to do in a certain way.
Yes. Yeah, that is so good. So long for me, and I think for you as well. As long as it's within historically plausible limits. That's that. I mean, then with all that, that's what I want to play. I want the AIs to generally follow the historical path so long as it makes sense. You know, if Spain enters the war on either side, obviously that changes things. But if Spain stays out, I want the AI players to not bother Spain. But if it's like a Republican Spain, it's cool that the Nazis attack. Or if Spain goes, comes into the Axis, then of course the Allies would attack. Things like that. So long as it's historically plausible, I like that about Hearts of Iron. That's not, and again, this isn't trying to say Hearts of Iron is better than this. This is just a different game.
Exactly, different game. I think, what does this game do that the Hearts of Iron didn't get right for me is supply.
Right.
I know it's abstract, but it's a good abstract. It's a good, sensible way of managing it. It gives you the opportunity to do it well or do it badly. The thing that I found was frustrating with Hearts of Iron 3 especially is it just did it. And it didn't matter what you did. It was just going to be as bad as it was.
Right.
It was
there
almost
was
that.
no manual override. If we could just have a manual override, that would be like send so much supplies to Stalingrad or whatever. We just so would love that and be able to manually override the auto system.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the downside of that one. That's all. You just have to live with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love just renaming units. I just found that so, I don't know, calming, just sitting there renaming units to certain naming conventions that made sense to me. I found that pleasurable, and that's a bit weird, but
Well, back in high school, I was painting a Jacobite, and I still have it. I've not based them still. A Jacobite and a Hanoverian 25 millimeter, miniature army for both sides. And my friends didn't understand why I liked just painting them. I mean, it's I haven't really done it since, but it is enjoyable just to do that sort of process. And I know because Xerjin here is a painter, excellent, or however we want to say it, an excellent miniatures painter here, par excellence. But I'm just sort of a bit of a hack at it compared to what I've seen that he does. But it does give pleasure just working with things like that, whether naming units or painting figures. I do understand the concept.
yeah, I just find it allows you to think about something that isn't work or life all the time, which I find
Right.
you can do. I think some people like walking for the same reason. So I think it doesn't really matter what you're doing. It's the process where your mind has just said, okay, let's forget about everything for a minute and just switch off. It's like meditation in a way, isn't it?
Yeah. Now,
Eastern society is very big on that, giving your mind time to do something that isn't something, if you know what I mean.
yeah, and interesting. And there's one sort of, and it's very much that sort of meditative element that is sort of an extreme meditative element that one particular admiral really liked, and that's Admiral Nimitz of World War II. They set up very very soon after his taking over in Hawaii and Pearl Harbor there, just sort of outside of the headquarters, a pistol range for him so that he could go out every day and for just brief periods of time, not hours, not whatever, but just brief period of time. As you point the pistol, everything else is out of your mind. You're just concentrating on firing the firearm, and as sort of a way to, he has all that stress of managing that war, that his thing was, and he also ran and he walked and he did a lot of other things like that too. But that was but he's still like thinking stuff in his back of his mind while he's walking. But to actually get out there and fire that, it's 100% concentration on that little, kinesthetic thing of firing that pistol and dealing with that reaction, because you can't take your mind off of it while you're doing it, is just the way he cleared his mind of all of that stress, even for brief moments. I just thought the people find that interesting.
I think so. Certainly. I mean, it just allows you to switch off. I think everybody should try that. Whatever it is they choose to do at that time, just switch off for a bit because life's too hectic now.
Oh yes.
More than ever. I think it's just too much information you can absorb sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, yeah. Our bodies aren't just meant to take all of that. Okay.
talking about information.
Right.
Back to the game.
Certainly. Yes, we do need to look at this. Friendly losses. I don't know if that's good. Quite honestly, I don't know if that's good or.
So the way I always look at that is compare it to the Soviet total. So if I'm reading that right, it's a bit phasey for me, but it looks like 902,000.
Yes.
So they've lost. Or is that a plus? Yeah, that might be an extra 92,000, but we can find that out. Let's look at if we do we can close that if you want, Gamer.
Okay.
Yeah, if we do our normal cycle at the start of a term, which is info screens, look at events, and then look at our info
new
screens.
Events.
Yeah.
Continuation war. Finland enters the war. Finland. TBAX ground combat intensifies set to very low. Finnish air activity set to medium. North front TBSO ground combat intensity set to very low, and north front. Okay.
So what that means? Do you want to know what that means? Shall we just explain that?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
So Finnish TB stands for theatre box. The theatre box is the little letters above the little mini map in the bottom left corner.
Okay.
So if you were to click on Finnish, yeah, that one there.
Okay, it's not letting me because we have this open, but yeah, we got that here.
It would open up a theatre box and it would show you the units that are currently Axis units that are in that theatre box, air and ground. And what it means is the theatre box is currently sat to very low, so the attrition on those units in that theatre box is very low. So as that escalates in the game, the attrition becomes higher to those units, they become less effective, and the AI gets more advantage. So that's what happens. So it's just telling us about that theatre box.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Let's plow on to the other. Yep.
Axis setback in the Balkans. Shortage of Axis forces leads to a setback in the Balkans. Axis lose 1 victory point and 1 action point. Okay. Wolf Slayer. It's June 23rd, 1941. Adolf Hitler first arrives at his Eastern Front headquarters for Operation Barbarossa. Wolf Slayer is located in the Masurian woods near the small East Prussian town of Rastenburg. Hitler will spend more than 800 days at Wolfschanz. Wolfschanz is derived from Wolf, a self-adopted nickname for Hitler. Okay, he began using the name in the early 30s, and it was often how he was addressed by those in his intimate circle. I don't really, from at least reading Albert Speer's book, I don't ever remember anybody that Speer talks about calling him Wolf. So I'm not saying it's untrue. I just don't ever remember reading about that. So I don't know. Have you, Xerjin, ever?
No, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've read enough on the inner circle of Adolf Hitler to know whether they did or didn't.
Now, I'm not saying as a sort of code name within, units that, where's Wolf now or something, getting on the radio or wasn't referred to him that, but I don't remember his inner circle friends calling him Wolf. That doesn't seem more. I could see a code word. I just don't see that, so I don't know where they're getting it from. Although the standard translation of Wolfschanz in English is Wolf Slayer, a Schanz in German denotes a redoubt or a temporary field work. Okay. So there, Hitler moves that. Executive Order 882. Under the threat of a forced march on Washington, D.C. on June 25th, 1940, President Roosevelt signs Executive Order 882. It prohibited discrimination against blacks and women in hiring process of U.S. defense jobs. Although not a law, it was the first federal gesture towards civil rights since Reconstruction after the American Civil War in the 1860s. That is false. I don't know where they're getting this from, but that is false. This may be the first gesture towards civil rights since Wilson, Democratic President Wilson becomes president, he resegregates the armed forces. Prior to his administration, the armed forces had been going through a period of desegregation. There were still some black units, but it was on its way to desegregation. President Wilson, Woodrow Wilson, was a segregationist, probably not a member of the Ku Klux Klan, but definitely a supporter of the Ku Klux Klan, and he resegregates things under his time period. And since Reconstruction really ends in, I think, like right around 74 or 1876, there was definite movement between the end of Reconstruction and FDR's regime. And so really it was the segregationists under, earlier, because FDR was a Democrat, but earlier Wilsonian Democrats very much was a segregationist, and they resegregated things. So though even with this, there in the Pentagon to this day, there are double the number of restrooms throughout the Pentagon as needed for the size and scale of the building as thought to be occupied. That is because, and the Pentagon was being started to build in the latter stages of World War II under Wilson and completed afterwards, but that was to allow for both segregated restrooms, white and black restrooms for men and women's. So that's why there's a lot of restrooms through the Pentagon, because they were still building buildings, because the Pentagon is across the river. It's actually outside of Washington, D.C., in Virginia, and that was still very much a segregated state, and so it was built under segregation under Wilson. So, yeah, I'm not saying this executive order didn't exist. I'm just saying the commentary that this is the first federal gesture towards civil rights since Reconstruction, that is incorrect. That is very much not true. Okay, turn one, and then we have the situation reports. Yeah?
Which we looked at, didn't we?
Well, it's just situation report. June invasion of the Soviet Union begun. 3.8 million men, 600,000 vehicles, 600,000 horses. Titanic struggle. Okay, so there we go. So that's our situation. Yes.
Yes. So now if we look at our info screens, if you click on the second tab along the top.
Right.
Oh, no, sorry. Right at the top. Yeah. Up.
Oh, info screens there.
Yeah. And then so if we look at our next one along is the losses tab, I think. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
There you go. This will tell us how many we've lost compared to them. So we've lost 11,000 men. They've lost 267, and it breaks it down by how they've been lost, either killed, captured, or disabled. So it's just worth knowing: killed are gone. Makes sense. Captured are gone because we've captured them, but the men disabled, the 75,000, have a potential to come back.
Okay.
Because they're obviously in hospital somewhere.
Right. Now, do we get any benefit from capturing men?
I don't know. I haven't got that far in the game yet. I don't know whether we're going to get subscription units appear anywhere, or whether that's modeled in as extra manpower.
Or just the idea, because they did have full units of, obviously, the POA in the Channel Islands. They were called Pals of Adolf, but it's the Russian for the Russian Liberation Army or whatever. And then they also had lots of Hiwis or volunteers in regular units, volunteering to help the Germans. And then, of course, you may also have, involuntary labor in factories that may benefit from this. I just don't know if the game models any of that yet, but I just wondered.
It certainly gives us the equipment back. So if we capture equipment, it goes into our pool of equipment that we can assign to units if we choose. So I'm just not sure about men.
Okay. Now we also see these ground losses. So we've lost like 13 Panzer III's and 53 Panzer IIIG's. Okay, so this is fairly well detailed. Oh, and then okay, then we have the Soviets losses here. Very interesting. Not going to read every last one of these, but yeah.
And then we've also got air losses and destroyed units across the top there. So
Yeah, okay, let's click on the air unit so we can get over to that. Okay, so, because everything is just this turn that we've lost, obviously, because we've only had the one turn. Well, Soviets definitely took a lot more air losses.
yeah, so they've got a total losses of 3,700 minus 1, and we've taken losses of 515. So I call that a pretty good. I've
Right,
seen I've seen a few people on other channels, YouTubes, or I've tried it myself, and it always comes out in or around or less than that. So as a ratio between the two.
right,
So,
right.
so that's not bad.
And of course, we haven't lost any. We have a disbanded unit, I guess.
Which might
So,
just have happened naturally. So there's
right,
set things that happen in terms of units going to the other fronts or things that
right.
happen.
And
So
they've lost 86.
which I think is the most important screen for me. So the number of units we get rid of is probably the most important aspect of the game.
Right. Yeah, a coherent unit is much more important than just individual men. That's for sure.
So
Right.
one more screen to look at, I think, or is it? Yeah, the weather and the withdrawal schedule.
Okay. There's weather. Looks like.
A massive high over northern Russia, which looks good for us, doesn't it? Because that
Right.
means it's going to be nice and clear.
Yep. Okay, that's good.
And
And
then
what other screen?
I think that there along the top there is the withdrawal schedule. So if you want one, that's the
Okay,
one.
reinforce withdrawal. Okay.
So it tells us the units that we've got that have appeared on the map at the top, the ones that are scheduled to disappear as the next segment.
Okay. So
And this is going forward in future turns, as you can see.
okay. Right.
That's turn
Yeah.
93.
Okay. So we can. Yeah. We'll take us a while to get there. Okay.
So,
So arrived. Reinforce. Looks like okay. There's going to be a remove for the Carpathian Hungarian army. It looks like at some point here, around turn 4. Transfer. I guess transfer is going out, or I'm guessing. I don't know.
yeah, it's going to another theatre box, and it tells you 2 more columns along which theatre box it's going to.
Okay, so like that. This is cover Soviet Union garrison. Okay, so that becomes a garrison unit. All right. Okay. Good. But nothing.
Okay.
We got arrivals only this second turn that we're starting.
Yeah. Cool. And we've only got to worry about the Carpathian army in the next future 4 or 5
Right.
turns disappearing. So we're all okay. So the first thing to do is air planning now. So
Right. What should we do at this point with that? Do we continue the current missions? Do we try to assign new areas of operation? Do we want to move or basing up forward or anything like that yet?
I certainly think it's worth reviewing each Luftflotte. So if we start on
Okay.
the first one, yeah, and then how do we bring up the different air missions? Oh yeah, so we have to click on the air mission. So if you click on the next one along, so F1, F2, yeah, so if you click on that, there you go. There's the air missions in the right-hand
Mm-hmm.
side. So you've got 2 recon, 2 ground attack, and an air support. So you've got 2 options here in gameplay wise. You can either get the AI to do it for you by clicking the AI assist button and it will fill it all in,
Mm-hmm.
or we can manually amend these as we see fit by clicking on one and going down and amending, or adding new ones.
Right. Well, let's keep doing manual for the moment, I guess, if
Okay.
we're gonna for changing, because I know they're gonna keep operating until we tell them to do something different.
So let's start with click on the top recon mission.
Okay.
So at the moment we've got a recon to there, which looks about sound to me because a lot of it is
It's where we're
close.
going to be operating. Yes.
Yep. And we've got that marked a very high priority.
All right. Okay. The other one is up in this area.
Yep.
Now, do we want to shift this to the north? Would that be advisable, or
Yeah, we could try shifting it to the north. So if you want to click on a hex that's nearer the front, yeah. So if you click and drag, I think that does it.
Drag.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking like to there. Okay, because I'm just thinking these are where we're going to be operating. This turn. Don't know if we can get it any further. Yeah, there we go. That's maybe a little better. Okay, because I'm hoping to push into here. I don't know if we'll be able to go that far, but it still covers a lot of our stuff. Okay, ground attack.
So we're going to support all units in that box. So I think you probably want to move that forward a bit. Yeah. And you remember the difference between green and purple. Green means they've got
Air escort, right?
yes, correct.
Now we're getting out of our range for the fighters.
Yeah. So that means
do we want to move fighters up here now, or do we want to wait?
you can either do that manually, or you could set them to advance at the end of the turn anyway.
Okay. I'm not sure which is best.
Neither am I to 100% sure.
Okay.
Because it's a new game and I'm not that familiar with it.
Yeah.
So just trying to think. Because it's so early in the game, it's only turn 2.
Right.
I think we can move them forward and not worry too much. So
Well,
if
yeah,
you
I'm
want to,
thinking if Riga is where I'm at least thinking of moving air units to.
so if we find the JG54, which is our fighters under
JG54. There we go.
yeah. Now what you have to do is you have to control and drag a box over Riga Air Base to get them to move.
Okay. One air base. Okay, that looked like it happened. I don't know.
Not sure. No, I'm not sure it did. Oh, yes, it did. Try clicking back on JG54. Try clicking back on JG54 and see if it gives you the option. Okay, right. Click on F1 to do it then. Take ourselves off air doctrine screens. Now try again.
JG54, right? Yeah. Control one air base. It says okay.
Yes. Now
Okay,
to complete that, it says on the JG54 unit tab icon on the right hand side, transfer right at the top.
Right.
Click on that.
Right.
And you put immediate transfer there, move right now, or plan transfer, which means they will move at the end of the turn. So it's up to you. But given that we just done it, let's do immediate, get them moved.
Okay, that's good. Yep.
Donk, and they've moved.
Right.
So now if we went back to the air doctrine screen by going on F2 and click on that ground support that you had selected earlier. Now they should have fighter escort, I think, if you move that again. Or was it ground support or ground attack? I can't remember.
Ground attack. Well, maybe they don't have, because I don't see them having it here. What I think is because they don't have it because they're shifting position. Now the question is do we want to abort ground attack this mission because we're shifting, or do we want to presume that we've dominated the air so much we're willing to fly unescorted operations?
Good question. The third option is we could just change the priority to low, because at the moment it's set to very high, to low,
right,
which is further down. Okay, we're in the box underneath. There you go. What you just further down.
Is this intensity right here? Is that it?
No. That's how many times they fly. Just up a little bit. It's in the second block underneath.
Second block.
There you go. One. You were just over it. Down to. There you go. Down to.
Yeah. Okay. Here. So okay, the plus minus high. And go to low.
Yeah, and then that means they'll run the mission, but only after everything else is done.
Okay. So we have that for that mission. Now ground support. So that's going. The first is going basically after air bases and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Now this is here. How much do we want to move forward on this or not?
The ground support. Yeah,
just it's in this box. Isn't that correct?
yeah. Oh no, I think it's ground support for anything in its box. Yes, that's right. I think.
Right. So
Oh,
do we?
anything under Army Group North. Any
Okay.
unit under Army Group North will get ground support if it's in range.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's yes. You should see that Army Group North. Okay, then we have so that's good, I think, and then we have another ground attack there.
And that's a lot closer to home, so I don't think the priority is such a big problem there.
Okay.
Because if you look at the air bases, which we can see most of them, they're all empty. So I'm happy to leave that one.
Right. Okay. We'll let that continue. Right now we'll come down to
Le photo 2. So if you just
where do we click out of this? Escape or?
Yeah, I think you just click on the map again.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just hit escape. Yeah. Okay. Left flip 2. Right. And then what is it again? Missions.
Yeah. So if you click on F2.
Oh, F2. I keep looking for out here. Click. Okay. So there are recon now.
So I think we can move that one forward because by the time they run it, which is the end of the movement bit, we don't need recon on that pocket.
That's about as far forward as we can get. It looks like. Yeah, I think this is.
Try putting it in one of the enemy hexes on the other side of our controlled hexes. See if that works.
No.
Okay, then that's fine.
I think we're just moving as far forward. We're going to have to shift air forward. Okay, second recon is down here. That's actually a pretty good area.
Yeah.
That's where we're looking at. Okay. Ground support. Well, okay.
Following
this is Army
center,
Group Center. Yeah. Okay, and then ground attack. Well, mostly escorted, but
I'd leave that, and I'll tell you why I'd leave that ground attack on, because we're going to attack all those units in that pocket, and there are quite a few of them, so ground support would probably be useful in that pocket for now.
Okay. And
then that ground attack, if you want to move that one because you've got one covering most of the pocket already, or just delete, yeah, that would make sense to me. So I'd put that one further north. Yeah. Even a bit more. Can you get how much more further north can you go with that one?
Right to about there, I think.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So, and then just is it 4, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. Okay.
F2 again.
That's still pretty good for the recon.
Yep, because we haven't
support is Army Group South. Here, they're not. Okay, yeah. That's still pretty good. That's still pretty good. And that once it's operational. Okay, so those all look pretty good.
Okay. So the attack is attacking airfields at the moment, yeah?
Right. Yep.
Okay. Okay then. So what do we want to? If we just want to click on Luftflotte 1 again, and let's change the order. At the moment, we've got that on hold, so I think we should change that to flexible to allow that air group to move up on its own. Any other units want to move? Yeah. And if yeah,
there we go.
I would do that with all 3. I think.
All right.
So what that's doing now is it's giving the ability for the AI to move units up.
Okay, so they're all on flexible now.
Okay. And I think if you're happy, I'm happy.
Yep. Okay, so up here, execute air directives. Get some idea of all the operations that are happening. And yes, if we would take them slow enough to actually pay attention to them, it would take us forever.
No, that wouldn't hurt. You ran a mission there, that wasn't great for us. Yep. We're learning a lesson here. Yeah.
Okay, losses.
Yeah, so
we're having a lot more losses to flak, it looks like.
Yeah.
Some to air combat, probably the unescorted stuff.
So that's my homework, to go and read the manual more about flak and levels, flying.
Right, okay, yeah. We're learning, everyone's here learning, that's fine.
So I think what that has to do is with when you've got the mission and you select the mission like we were just doing, you can pick a level of altitude to fly.
Right.
And I think what that 420 loss is due to some of the altitudes we were flying. So if we look here quickly, at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th column, which says altitude, a lot of these were at 15,000. So I'm going to have to go and have to read if 15,000 was too much or too little.
Right, okay. There's just like 112,000 out of all of that. Everything else was 15. The 12,000 execute detail.
So yeah, if you click on the little arrow, it should open up the detail of it.
Okay, well, let's look at the 12,000. That's where we had 82 losses.
Yep.
So that's definitely lower than it, or higher losses than everywhere else. You said I could quickly look and see. Yeah, that's where we've had most of our losses here.
So what we'd have to do, I'm going to have to go away and work out why, whether that was just one anomaly or whether that was a specific reason for that.
Right, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it was something to do with memo or something. I don't know. No, that's the operating out of base. Don't know. Damage effect. Yeah. That's where we took our losses, it looks like.
And I can't see why it's 82, because it only looks like -1, -2, -1.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is there one in there in any of that that's massive?
No, there isn't.
Hmm.
Oh, wait, maybe that's the number of raids.
Ah, maybe it is.
Okay, that's probably the number of raids, and that's okay. Well, I don't know what happened there. Okay, well, we'll look at it some other time and figure that out. Right, so we're done with air operations.
Yep. So now on movement again.
Okay. Let's take a quick look. Okay, the Soviets have pulled back to this sort of line here and given this entire space up according to at least air reconnaissance. However effective that is. So it's trying to form a line back here. The AI. Okay, there's its line. Like I had hoped, at least they weren't going to, move out the great bulk of the forces, so that we would still be able to trap them in the pocket.
And I think there's an opportunity there still, I think, to trap at least a significant portion.
Right, because I think all of these armored forces can move up, and we can move in infantry forces into their current position.
And they can all move now, so that's a good thing.
Right. Okay. Let's start with Romania down here. Looks like the Soviets have pulled out. Right. And this is interesting time. I ran across a newspaper article published out here in the United States about, I think it was either late May or early June. There was a massive earthquake out in Romania that just tore up a bunch of the cities. out here, and I wish I had the details from the event that I made from it for Third Reich events. But there was a massive earthquake out here, and the German divisions that were stationed in Romania, at least some of them at the time, this is a few weeks prior to the starting of Barbarossa proper, but did sort of disrupt a little bit the starting, well, more than a little bit for the Romanians, starting the Barbarossa. The German military is cited in this American newspaper article as that had sort of been there for training purposes and defense purposes at the point, because this is written before the Barbarossa starts, shifted into search and rescue type operations for the Romanians. So there was definitely that going on, just sort of as an interesting lead up, that until I found this 1941 newspaper article, I never had heard that there was this huge earthquake in Romania, as well as the German humanitarian response to that as well. I just thought that was really fascinating.
Yeah, I've certainly never heard of that.
Yeah, just something in history we don't often hear about, I guess. Okay, we have these brigades here. Do we want to form divisions with them, or?
Certainly those three.
Yeah.
The Romanian units are weak as they are, so not having them
I didn't
all
know
as
if there was enough reason to scoop up territory now. Okay, so let's move you to there, you to there, you to there, and B. Okay, well, yeah, across the river. I guess we'll move.
Yep.
Try to regain lost territory here for Romania.
But up till that next river, isn't it? That's the old border.
This is it's this river here is where the old border was. So we are just reoccupying lost territory, and yes, these guys are moving slow. They'll get to there.
They do move slow, yeah. And those brigades again are broken down. That one's not. That one's its own thing.
Yeah.
So I say brigades. The 3 lines of regiments, not brigades, and the one that is a brigade.
Okay. I think 1, 2 is our 3rd regiment here. This is just a 2 regiment division, maybe.
So I think you've already moved one element out across the river.
Oh, we did. Okay, that's where it is. Well, we'll get them here to get reconnected soon.
I'd go north of him because the rest of his corps north. Yeah.
Okay. We have a nice German division here. I'm just looking at this fortress unit and this armor unit. Okay, well,
so the fortress unit should be no problem for the Romanians.
Right.
But the armor unit is a problem.
Okay, 11 to 9 is not a good attack odds.
So there's another division right down the bottom there, Gamer.
Yeah.
German one. Yeah, that one there. How close can he get?
He can get right there as well.
What's that now?
There's a deliberate attack with both of them. Both of them, deliberate attack. Okay, that would be 46 to 9, so 4 to 1. That should be good enough.
Yeah, do that.
Right, okay, and the one that can move a little bit further forward will do so. Getting to there. Now.
Is there, I think there's one more in that corps underneath the HQ.
That is a Romanian brigade.
Okay.
Which which we can. Oh no. Let's move into here. Yeah, they can take that. I think we'll move him up here to get the rail line. Now,
Yep.
will rails repair themselves eventually without a rail repair unit, or do we have to move that rail unit along it eventually?
The answer is, in each HQ there is support units. Some of the support units are construction or rail labour units. Those HQs that have them will send them out on their own within a certain distance of radius around the HQ. So if you want to click on that unit's HQ, for example,
Right.
now,
Okay.
if we click on Third Romanian Corps at the top, its
Right.
actual name,
Actual name. Okay.
and you click on assigned, it says 15 at the moment.
Okay.
He has got
Assigned
none.
support units.
He's currently got none attached.
Yeah. Okay.
So assign some. Click on assign to support units. There you go. In his higher HQ, there are 4
Okay.
construction battalions.
Right. So
Let's
we should.
assign one.
Right.
Click out of it.
Yeah.
We now know that that HQ has got 1 construction battalion assigned. It's at the bottom,
Right.
near the
Yeah.
bottom. Yeah.
Yep.
At the next turn, it will send that construction battalion out on its own to fix rail.
Okay. So we'll move him. Well, to here. Well, to here for the moment. And
There's 2 options there.
because Odessa is our. Well, okay. Now down here we have two objectives. One, to close this pocket, I think, is primary. Secondary is Odessa. So we move some Romanian units, but let's see what we can do with some of these German units up here to close this pocket. So let's start from the south.
Well, before
yeah,
you do that,
sure.
there's a paratrooper unit further back from the front. I would start with him. So
Here, okay.
the 22nd Air Landing Division, so Luftlanding Division. So let's use him first.
Okay, so we can get to. Okay, that HQ has a lot of defense. Let's move him to here. This might be a bit tougher.
That'd have to be deliberate, I think, if you're going to do that.
Yeah, we need even more than that. Yeah.
Well, how about move up 1 and take out?
Okay, let's move up. Let's start with the Romanian division. Let's get this Romanian division to here. And look at that. That would be basically even odds. So let's move the German division up as well. And he would be unhasty about even odds. So let's.
So you could assign that division, that German division, before you do it.
Right.
Let's assign that German division to the corps that's quite close to it, and then he'll get the artillery support.
And so instead of that corps, right? Okay. So no, wait a minute. That's no.
That one.
He is assigned to some corps way up there, Army HQ. Okay. So
if you click on the 46 ID's name,
right?
Yeah.
And then which is HQ? So
11 Corps looks good to me.
Yeah. Okay. So now he has some divisional support. Okay, this and a little better, but I think it does need to be a deliberate attack.
And use both units.
Yeah. Okay, well, we got those guys. Good.
So I would move up with the German unit and attack the Fortress Brigade in front of you. Out of movement points.
Yeah. Right, well, we still have more forces. We have a nice mountain fort division here, or brigade.
He's got to attack across the river there, though, hasn't he? So let's just see.
I know, but let's just see. Yeah, we can do that.
Right, so now we've got a gap which we need to exploit.
Right. Okay, we do. Just trying to.
Yeah. Can you get any further? Can you get any further than that? Can you go up one more?
No, he can't. Okay, this is getting too narrow, so we need to clear one of the other shoulders here. So let's move you to here and see what we get both of these here with a deliberate attack. 13 to 7. Let's move this up here. I know people have like, hey, you're over deliberate attacking.
So yeah, so do you know what I'd do is if you do shift and hover over both of them.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, that's 21, 3 to 1 basic odds. So I want to make sure I get this in this attack.
And it's still held.
Well, see, my deliberate attack was the right prescription. Now, I'm going to do it again.
Held again.
Okay, well, that means we need to bring up. Keeping this cavalry unit and this, well, no, this division would be better to move up here.
So if you're going to move up, yeah, move there.
So
you're not attacking.
See, that will fully expend his movement, but we should be able to attack.
A hasty attack there now.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Right. Okay. So that clears that one. Now it gives us a little bit more.
Yeah. No, where you had him.
Yeah.
Yeah. There. Yeah. So now with the forces in the north, we've only got to make 4 squares.
Right. Okay. So let's come down with this armored division here.
So I would start with the infantry, gamer, and leave the armor till last, because the further we get with the infantry, the less work we have to do with the armor.
Yes, that's quite true. Right. Okay. So we're going to move. That one down to here. And hit that. Okay. And then you retreated a bit.
Yeah. See what he can do.
Okay, let's move the HQ up.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to do that early in the process. And wrong HQ. Is it? No, it's.
Do you think you can do the undo button?
Right there. Oh, undo. Okay, there we go. Let's see. I want that HQ forward. Yeah, I need to get it here at least. Okay, now. That infantry unit is being a bit of a bother.
Don't think he's going to be able to do anything. No. That's okay.
Okay, well, it's a little frustrating.
So I tell you what. There's some load of army units at the back as well, gamer. So if you want to, yeah. So the ones that didn't move.
I know those there. What I'm hoping to do is use those to push straight east. If we can close this gap without them. That's what I'm hoping to do. Because we have a bunch more infantry units here.
So you know what I'd do? I would start on the border where Hungary meets Germany. And
right down here,
work systematically around like a clock and clockwise, and each time trying to shift one unit around to the pocket that we're trying to close. Then hopefully we'll have spare units on the other side of the pocket. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Okay.
So you can shift out those fortress brigades that are in your way.
Yeah. Let's just let's just hit with this unit here.
Yep.
Okay, that has done that. This, we'll just occupy that. We'll occupy this. I know we're keeping, just keeping this separate mostly just because we're occupying things. Here, well, they can come up and stack to there now, but occupy into the forest a bit. Okay, now here, let's see. Okay, that would work to there.
Yep.
Keep clicking too fast.
It's the excitement.
Okay, yeah, no, it's just waiting for the computer to finish its operation. Okay, I think going straight in at him is a little better at the moment.
I think so. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, yeah, okay, so we're gonna go straight into here. And what I think we're gonna do is, oh, they can't even get to there.
There's another one further back as well. Do you see behind the HQ at them?
Yeah, just, okay, well, they can
I'll just go forward in a straight line.
Yeah, just don't want to overstack these at the moment.
Don't move those units first.
Well, now let's move the HQ up. That way when we attack with these units, it'll be a little better. Okay, well, I guess that's as far as we're going to get.
But that's fine, because every time we move one around slightly, like you're doing, you're actually freeing up that block to the north. That can just come straight down into that gap we've created.
Okay, well.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so we've grabbed the city there. This would be better for keeping the pocket closed.
I'd put him on the shoulder for. I don't know if it's that one, but one of the ones would go on the shoulder there. And that's currently the red hex.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And then now you don't have to worry about them coming north again.
Right. Yeah, I think so. So we will be moving up some other forces down this way. Okay, so we've come around, we've swung around there.
Yep.
What I want to do is hit this unit here with some more.
So, yeah, you're too.
Yeah, so we're too far back.
Why don't you? I would move you to green, because they're in that same army block. Move them first, and move them down straight first.
Okay.
Yeah,
see what I'm looking here at. I'm not disagreeing entirely, but what I'm looking at here is if I can hit this unit hard enough to open this part of the shoulder up here, and then push more some of these more units straight here, because I think that this is going to slow us up. So that's what I want to do.
So I would use the purple army to do that, the 6th army, rather than the...
Okay, but they're not getting there.
There's
they
some
can't get there.
Okay, there's some further down.
He could. So
If you've got Yeah, do that.
He can. Okay, and then see now shift the deliberate attack. Make sure we get both of these. Oh no, it's okay.
So what's that odds when you do both?
Okay, both 26 to 6.
Yeah, it's worth a go.
Okay, good. That shifted them out of the way. That's specifically what I wanted to do. Okay, that's good. Now here. Okay, yeah. Here we can get down to here. Work on keeping all of this fairly well. Okay, now that we have let's attack this here. And nope, they didn't fall back even at that odds. Okay.
So this before you move the green ones, there's
Sure.
two things. At the moment, you've got a gap that you need to fill.
Here is what you're maybe talking there?
Yes, you need to fill that.
Okay, so we'll make sure we have that one. Okay, that can come down to here. I think that's closed enough, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
Okay. Okay, now a non-hasty attack or a hasty attack 10 to 1 should do it. So, okay, that shifted that back to there. Good. Here, 16 movement points. Okay, that eats up all of the movement points getting to there. So we don't want to do that.
And some of them need to push east.
So I think we're going to start moving this armor up here. Come right across the river.
You might want to move its core up before you attack.
Yep, I do.
And all its other units are miles away, so we have to move them after this.
Right.
Yep. Take the armor out first. Spaghetti,
okay.
Chinese, Indian, whatever they prefer.
Right.
Okay, and the 6-6, ignore that infantry, mountain infantry. Ignore that.
You sure we can do that?
Yeah, isolate him. So we're just going to drive past him if he's not there. As long as we keep a line of units,
but
he'll
no,
be
see,
part.
I don't know that we can, because notice his zone of control is just really.
So all right then. So before we make a decision then. So he's got 15 movement points left. So
Right.
keep them in your back pocket.
Right.
Move the other units in that armored division's core.
Well, what I was okay. Okay, we have this here.
No,
I wasn't planning on attacking with him because it would be across the river.
Okay. So I was going to go on then.
Yeah. Sorry, maybe I'm jumping here, but I'm thinking this along with that 33 to 6. Is that overkill or
what's that infantry division on its own?
That okay? Now, can we get that and just those two? No, they're doing both the armor. Which armor is this? That is the 14th. That plus that. So, let's see. Can we exclude that one? There's 2 to 1 odds. Well, no, wait. I was wanting to have the 79th. So let's.
I don't think the 79th's got enough movement left.
No, it has 2. No, it has no the 79. Okay, 79 has 3, so I think that can attack. What I'm trying to do is 79th and this.
Yeah.
I forget which number. The 14th. Okay, so we're going to. Okay, so we want to exclude that. We want to make sure we have the 79th. Nope,
It's not letting you. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Okay. I think we need to just hit it with both the armor units. Because we don't have that far to go. We want to take these 3 out here. So I think we're just going to hit here. I know this is not entirely the hit everything from the rear forward. Okay, so now.
Yeah.
Now we're going to come here with this motorized division. Oh, it brought the HQ. Let's do the undo.
You can't. I don't think it's let you because you moved next to an enemy unit.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't mean to use the move the HQ, but okay. Yeah, that should do for this.
You certainly got to bypass the 10. I think that's just too many.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm entirely. That's because I'm wanting to. Yeah, I'm wanting to get these out of here.
Right. So they good. They all went. Get rid of him.
Yeah.
How many movement points you've got left?
We got 18 on this, but we can move some of these other armor units forward, I think, and leave him.
Well, I think you just move him 1 south for me then.
Okay.
Just to make yeah, they're fine. Just that makes sure that you've definitely got a pocket formed.
Right.
So now everybody else can move east without having to worry.
Okay. Got the HQs there.
Someone needs to be on. Someone needs to be on that.
Yeah, I know. And because I unfortunately moved that one forward, I didn't really mean to.
So
okay,
don't move that one. Don't move that one. Move the red one.
The red one. Okay.
You've got both selected.
Yeah. No, he can't get there.
Oh, 1 square short, 1 hex short. No, well.
Yeah. We'll get him down just because that was my error. Didn't mean to get the HQ all the way that far forward. Okay, he's protecting the HQ. We've got the pocket secured. Yes, now we can start moving east. Let's look at east here for the moment. How should we tackle that line?
So I reckon we've already got a bit of a gap. So where you're at right now with the units that you just started moving, right in front of you is the weakest part of that line. Here. Yeah, exactly. So all the armor units we've got, and we've got some further back in Germany still, I reckon we try and push those units out as much as we can. So we're driving east at that point.
Okay.
Like a spearhead.
Here's another thought.
Go on then.
We see what we can get and I haven't even see if we can punch with these here. Oh, they can't get there. Damn. Well, he can't. Can he? No, they can't. Oh, so I was hoping to come here and sort of create another pocket.
So I don't think that's a bad plan. 1 unit won't be enough. I don't think it's a bad plan. Is it a plan we want to execute this turn or next turn? Do you want to set yourself up for that for next turn? So you don't have to attack. You could move yourself into a position ready to do that next turn.
Yeah, because we look at there's Kiev up here, which is an objective, and I do like your idea of punching through this weak right here, these 2 security and whatnot, and maybe hooking north.
So agreed. Set yourself up to do that next turn then. So get a whole armor core that doesn't do anything apart from move into position in the north.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do with.
They get as far as they get. Yeah, they get as far as they get.
Move Leibstandart up.
Which is only a brigade at the moment. It will become a division later in the game.
Move Um,
Yeah, I think there.
oh, you know what? Maybe help us here. And we've already done that. Let's clear out these 2 divisions.
Yeah.
Um,
Start at the north then, and work your way down.
yeah, oh, yeah, but those are mostly brigades that we're going to have to put together, which takes up points. So, well, let's move here. I think doing this will make it so that we can move stuff much further forward. I don't know if enough to really attack, but just at least getting forward.
Yep, the units behind will accumulate less attrition.
Okay,
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, these 3 will stack. Okay, there's.
You need to try and take that city. Yeah.
Yeah, it's as close as we're gonna get, but we're gonna get to there with that. Now these guys need to come here, and yes, all the right ones. They'll stack, and we'll just keep moving this way. And we'll move up the HQ. Okay, so that helps. Yeah, see, now we're actually getting into contact over here, so...
Stay 1 back from contact, though, gamer. Just get 1 back. Yeah, that way, look, he doesn't get the recon on you, so he doesn't know you're there. And second of all, unless he does air recon. And second of all, you're going to accumulate less attrition.
Right, okay.
The wood, go for. Well, yeah.
Oh, well, where do you think we should move up to the woods here?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think either or, but.
Right.
And then move up the right HQs for that lot.
Well, they're down here, so
I'd put him on top of the Liebenstadt, yeah. And the units that are in the south at the moment, move them north now. We don't need them in the south anymore. So there's one underneath there.
He can't move. He's an infantry division.
No, it's the
red
one.
Is it? Oh, it's that one. Okay, yes.
Unselect the purple one. That's it. Somewhere on that, there's a little town just to the south of the HQ now. 2 south, yeah, there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right. Okay, that's got that pushing into there.
Move the HQ in the back in Germany. So in Germany, there's a HQ there. Oh no, that's the army HQ, isn't it?
Yeah. There are some divisional or core HQs there still, but okay, their HQ is here, so let's move them somewhere way down here. So let's move up some of the infantry first. Keep them close.
Undo that move. Undo the move you just did.
Okay.
Move him south. The reason why is because all of the rest of his core, yeah, there. Yeah, there's fine. And then put the HQ in the middle of that lot.
Okay. Now their HQ is here, so he can
push right up to the front.
Okay. His HQ is here and here. Okay, so
you've got both selected at the moment.
Well, yeah, there we go. Yep, he'll come to here. And I think we'll attack just because I think it'll be good odds. And yeah, just to be aggressive a little bit.
That's fine.
There we go. Now they're getting a little spread out. But yeah, oh well.
Just leave it then. Don't move it.
Okay, here. They've moved their full extent. They have not.
His fellow unit's right in the south. Do you see it? Yeah, it's down there in the bottom of the pocket.
Yeah, okay. So you should come this way. Just don't want to overstack too much. There we go. Okay, so we're closed here. Well, I don't know if they're going to counterattack or be able to. 6-1. Now, something like this mechanized unit. Is it worth attacking now, or is it better to wait for their supply to attrition out a bit more?
I've always been of the cause of thought it's better to wait for their supply to be out of supply.
Okay. So we
It's
have
the way I've
this,
always played the game.
right. Is this secure enough of a pocket now, or do we want to try to move up like this cavalry brigade? Or
Well, it won't hurt. It won't hurt. So I would move it up.
Obviously we could try to move some other way, but so we can move it. Do we want to stack, or do we want to?
No, I think if you're going to do anything, I would sort of stagger your line so it's like small triangles, because it will make him harder to try. If he does try and get through your line, yeah, it's more zones of control that he's got to go through.
Okay, well we can attack there with it.
Yep.
Effectively.
It's a shame he can't move one more and hit that fortress brigade, but oh
yeah,
well.
but at least we've done that. Okay. Okay, well we have here, we're going to avoid that whatever the hell is under here. That's 35. That's whatever it is defending like that. Just looking to see if there's rear area stuff that we have a nice Hungarian motorized unit.
I think there's another one under the HQ as well. Yeah.
Okay. Won't let us move into Romania for some reason.
Won't it? Try? Won't it even let you move in one?
No, it won't. Well, Romania and Hungary weren't Romania wasn't terribly pleased by Hungary taking this bit of chunk of territory from them. So that's probably it's probably a political situation more than anything else. So I guess we're just going to wait here until
just move up. Move up one, then put them all on top of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's move that up. I mean, they're not very strong, but they.
If you put all three in the same hex, I would. Cavalry brigade.
Yeah, all right.
How many attack does that give us? Well, it gives us 36 to 35. At least it's 1-to-1 now.
No. Look. Oh, let's. Yeah, 12. We got 12 to 35.
Yeah, you've only got one selected.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Try
30 to 35. Yeah,
okay, so we'll wait. Yeah. We'll wait, but
yeah,
it was better than it was before.
True. Yeah, no, it's not ideal. Okay, so we've got that. This is closed reasonably well. Now let's look around here. What I think we want to do is to continue with some of the German units here that we have. Let's push this HQ here. Oh no, let's come with the Romanian unit. Push here. Okay, they fell back as I anticipated.
Yeah, capture as much of the territory as you can of him yet.
Now we have this Romanian armored division.
So my question there is, do we want to expend our only good unit down there, our only armor unit, on attacking another armor unit? in fact, attacking anything. Why don't we get the infantry to do all the grunt work in the south?
Okay,
I think.
yeah, that seems good. But I'm also trying to look for objectives. We have Odessa as definitely an objective to get.
I don't think there is any more in the south. So the whole
Yeah,
Hungarian front, the whole Romanian front, sorry,
yeah.
should do nothing but to take Odessa.
Okay, so getting this rail link will help us out. So we'll use the German infantry. Well, yeah, because we want to combine some of these other regiments back to a division before we really go aggressive with them. Okay, 10 to 2 basically.
Take that. It's better than nothing.
Yeah. Okay, here I think we're going to come to here, come to here, come to here, and B. Reform this and move forward.
Good. Yep.
There we go. Okay. Now, I guess there.
Yep. Is that HQ still got them all in supply?
No,
Yep.
we can move up a little bit.
Well, yeah.
The one in the south wasn't. But yeah.
That's that done.
Right. Okay. Don't know if we even should move forward on some of these right now facing the Soviets.
Right. So decide if you want to attack anymore on that front, or are you going to leave them all as they are?
I think we're gonna. The only thing we can really effectively attack with is with the Romanians, but I think we should use them as a rush forward, like to here. Does that look good, or do we want to focus more up here and attack these HQs with this?
I think that's a really good one, because if you can cut that rail line there, right, with those 2 1-1s on it,
yeah,
then actually the ones behind, look, or in front,
okay,
are
we're
done
down.
for.
Yeah.
Attack the one to the other side. Yeah.
It's not letting us cross the river.
Oh, well.
Okay.
There you go. And then, can we move up onto that junction line?
You think so? Okay, but that's exhausted ourselves. Okay, so we've exhausted, but yeah.
We're in behind him, and that's something.
Absolutely.
So all I would one more thing then. So you've got one division of 3 regiments at the bottom end of your line on the Romanians. So no, sorry. When I meant bottom line, I meant halfway up. That wasn't very good English. Right there in the middle. Yeah. Move them up to the top one and combine them into a division. Onto the top shoulder. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
And B.
No, I'm happy now. I'm happy.
Okay, I think. Whoa, we can attack this rear HQ successfully. I think yes. Okay, so we've now pushed that a little bit, and what I think we will also do is just let's be cavalry-ish and rush into the rear and up to there.
Yeah, it'll make him consider where he wants to be next turn, won't it, at the very least?
Yes, because we've swung around there. Well, I think with this closing of this pocket and doing our Romanian offensive, I think that's where we're going to end this episode here. So I want to, first, of course, thanks Xerjin for making the episode with me. Thanks so much.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you, everyone.
And I thank all the rest of you for making it this far. Again, if you have comments, tips, suggestions, questions, post them below. We'll do our best to answer them. Not that we'll always be correct or right, but we'll do our best. We want to know what you're interested in, and so please post those. And we'll see you next time for even more historical gaming. Thanks so much, everyone.